Hi and welcome to another edition of OnSide SA. Budge, the wheel is turning with this last one standing.
Yeah,
and
Paul.
what I must say I found very interesting is that if Chelsea had not got a late winner, there would only be 18 people left. It's gone quickly. People have gone out quickly, Budge.
Well, that's why everyone's demanding that we start again.
I know, I'm getting pressure all the time. When's the new one starting?
Well,
When's the new
this
one?
Saturday, Paul, we
This
start
Saturday, get it out there because it's a good prize. You know, you get out there and you win a ticket to go over and watch. Well, if you won't go and watch the Liverpool game or Fulham or
Fulham, you never know. They're on a roll.
Yeah, they're on a roll. They got rolled like 21 shots against them. I hope Steve's not listening. But it's been. It's been very quick. Paul. It's been tough, and it only gets tougher now.
Yeah,
only gets tougher. So we're going to start the new one, but let's just go through this one, Budge. I think I need my glasses to read some of the stuff you've written here. Okay. So the guys who went through with the late goal with Chelsea: Brighton, Wolves, and Tottenham.
Yeah.
Newcastle took 6, Liverpool took 3, and Nottingham Forest took 2.
Yeah.
So we got 31 left, and of those, let's go through these entrants. But these are interesting: Julian Naidu, Jared Werners, Lawrence Werners. The Werners have got a big say.
Yeah.
In the last 30 or so, they got a lot of them through the Werners. Calvin McManus, Andy Keane, Mark Marinkovic.
Minksy.
Minksy, lovely man. Minksy. Robbie Talon, Graham Hawkins, good Spurs man. Gavin Wright. France Guait. Have I got
France Guait, Mansfield boy.
Mansfield, okay. Patrice Masson,
another Mansfield boy.
Singleton, the legend, still going. He gets into those scrums. I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he gets into a car, but he gets into those scrums. Craig Williamson, Breaks Burns, footballing stalwart. James Goodman. Now, explain what's going on there.
Arsenal top of the league, Paul, so he's following suit.
Jimbo Goodman, you know he went to Belfry, eh?
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he went and played golf him at PS and they went to Belfry. And Charles Pretorius, who went to the Spurs game last night.
Okay.
I'm still in. Devon O'Connor.
Yeah.
Paddy Loca, Phineas.
Yes.
He was overseas with me. Fantastic man. Well done to him. Fabio Rosa, I don't know. Kevin Power. Now, out of all of that, Budge, there's only one champion still in.
Can you believe it?
Gary Citron without the E.
Yep. Current champion.
He's current champion. He's red hot. If he wins it again, he'll be the first person ever.
Yep.
We won't hear the end of it. It's bad enough that he's won it once. Toad favourites to win it.
Yeah.
Sonny Bill Dutoy.
Yeah.
You know him?
Yeah. Sunil, yeah.
And is he a Hollywoodbets man? Yeah. That's what they had the horse with that name.
Yeah.
And Mark Fullion.
Yeah, well, Robbie Burns will be good. Robbie got him in the last competition, so he's a debutant, Mark. So
Debutant. Whoa, he's doing well. Right, only 5 ladies. So again, it's roughly 16% going through for the girls. Michelle Tovey, she's always there. I don't think her husband's Prime Minister because he's gone. Catherine Armstrong, she's always there as well.
She studies a lot, Paul.
She knows her football, Catherine Armstrong. Julie Usher, I don't know.
You do know. It's Lance Whiteford, the postman's wife.
Of course, Julie. Sorry, I thought she was Julie Whiteford. No. Sorry. Montana Werners and Tennille Werners, I know them both.
Yeah.
The elder Werners have got a lot of them. Oh, very good. International people still in, but Francois Dumy, good man.
Yeah, Mauritius. He's the only guy with 2 picks.
Hell, he's doing well. Tubbs Riddell.
Yeah, I'm at Andrew.
Where's he? Texas or London?
He's a globetrotter, Paul.
Globetrotter.
Paul, there is one extra. Kevin Powers, a staunch Fulham man. He's got 2 season tickets. I missed him when he was out here. He was at the game the other day when they beat Brighton, sending me photo. So Kevin's still in. He's another UK guy. I missed him out.
Okay, well done to him. All right, should we see if we can get Stevie B on the line?
Steve, I know before you go to the cricket, what did you think of the sacking with Tuchel?
Well, I don't think people expected it, but then for what's coming out now is that he sort of lost the respect and fallen out with some of the players. He'd fallen out with the board, so evidently they made their mind up that he was going to get sacked this week, whatever the result on Tuesday. So again, I'm sure we'll hear a bit more, but it just shows how ruthless the new owners are, as the old ones were. 6 games in and a Champions League defeat, and he's gone. So now it looks like they're going to appoint Graham Potter today, by the sounds of it.
Yeah, big jump up from Brighton and Ostersund to Chelsea.
The funny thing is, I read that he'd spent over 200 million. Who did he buy?
Well, he bought Fofana, Koulibaly, Aubameyang, I don't think. And they bought a lot of Aubameyang.
Who else, Steve?
There were 4 big-time players. Cucurella, 60.
Oh yes, so
They spent little under 280 million. It was the most by any club.
And there's this new owner, Boli or whatever his name is, and his partners. They're more ruthless than the Russian. I can't believe it.
They want instant. Look, whether or not they were expecting instant success, but it does sound as if, for what we don't quite know. Look, we don't know the whole story, but it sounds as if there have been some other reasons cited this morning, personal reasons that he's fallen out with the board and certain players. So, at the end of the day, I guess they probably thought, look, this isn't working, and it's going to cost them a lot of money to bring Graham Potter in. If it is Potter, it's going to cost them a lot of money to say goodbye to Thomas Tuchel. So, but the amount of money that Chelsea have probably paid out in the last 15, 20 years to sacked managers, it's eye-watering.
Yeah, I heard this morning, Steve, 60 million to bring Potter in if they buy him out of his contract at Brighton.
Yeah, and probably not much less than that to pay off Thomas Tuchel. So, sometimes they say being a failure pays. Now I understand that RB Leipzig sacked their manager last night, so I wouldn't be at all surprised if Tuchel ends up back in Germany at Leipzig.
Joe, one thing we was calling him a failure is a bit harsh.
Well, he won the Champions League,
World Club, Champions League, and
beaten 2 finals.
Got beaten 2. He wasn't there that long. That's a bit harsh. I just think, as you say, I think they realised even before they played that Champions League match, he was gone.
Yeah, I think they're in serious trouble. Just have a look at their defenders. Thiago Silva lost legs, Koulibaly lost legs. Jorginho in the middle of the park. Yeah. They can't score goals. But there again, you just never know. But Aubameyang, I thought, was a desperate signing, broken jaw. But anyway, he wanted him. That's what amazes me. He wanted a couple of those players, and they fired him a few days later.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I think something happened after the game. There must have been a powwow. Steve, Champions League, I watched the Celtic Real Madrid. For an hour, it was a close game. Celtic should have been ahead. But once they scored the first goal, the wheels came off and comfortable winners,
Yeah, I mean, Real Madrid, they've been there and done that, worn the T-shirt in this competition. Yeah. And I saw bits, I was watching the City game as well, but, great atmosphere and lots of effort, but at the end of the day, class told.
Yeah. They give you a chance.
On the same night with City. I mean, City were just superb. Wow. I thought Seville, who we've watched many times, that's probably as bad as I've seen them play in a European game against an English team. And City could have had way more than 4. That's superb. Yeah. Probably the only really, really good performance by an English team.
Yeah, talking of 4s, I watched the Liverpool-Napoli game. If Trent Alexander starts at right back on Saturday, Jurgen Klopp, I tell you, should get a wake-up call because he's an embarrassment defensively. Trent
Joe
Alexander.
Gomez struggled a bit
Joe
too.
Gomez, no doubt, but Trent Alexander doesn't want to defend, and that was Liverpool's hallmark. Steve, they're in trouble.
Yeah, look, you couldn't have predicted that they would be completely outplayed and swept aside as they were in that first half. I mean, it could have been any number of, especially with the missed penalty as well. Van Dijk went off the line. I mean, they were just poor, basically. Napoli were up for it, and it's a wake-up call. And Liverpool, obviously they've got a game next week in the Champions League. They'll need to do simple as that.
Yeah, well, I don't know what Klopp, we spoke about it was it last week or the week before, the 7th year Jurgen Klopp syndrome, so Liverpool fans beware. Tottenham, Paul, you obviously watched it.
Yeah, I watched every kick of the game. Marseille rolled us first off. They were way better, much quicker, passed the ball well. They didn't create that many clear-cut chances, but they had possession and had us running ragged. We had the odd break. And then half-time, we came out positively and put Son through, and he was taken out by the last defender. Red card. Suddenly they had to change their plan. They couldn't bring on some of the forwards they wanted to bring on. They brought defenders on, and they still held out for a long time and had a chance to go ahead when Davies made a fluff up at the end.
He miskicked it. Yeah.
But well done to Richarlison. 2 very good headers. So we went through, but I don't know.
Not easy Champions League, is it?
I don't know how we're going to beat them away. They were magnificent, Marseille, and they knew guys.
Yeah. Steve, last but not least, Bayern Munich. From what I hear, they cruised past Inter Milan.
Yeah, Lewandowski short again. I mean, that was a big result for them because it puts them in pole position straight away after match day 1. And I'd expect them to go on and win the group now. They're like Barcelona won comfortably. I mean, some of the big teams have done well, but as I say, the English teams are going to have to buck their ideas up. So there's too much. At the end of the day, it's all about just getting through the group, and getting through to the knockout stage. So they've got 6 games. So losing one, like Liverpool lost one, it's not the end of the world. But they've got a tough group. Obviously, Rangers won't challenge them, but Ajax will be tough. I watched Ajax earlier, and they were superb in the first half. So you just think they've sold some of their best players, but they just keep producing young players in their academy. Their back four was the average age of about 21. I mean, just superb.
Isn't Blind still there?
Yeah, take out Daley Blind. When he went off, the average age was about 21.
But, very good.
Exciting team to watch.
Yeah, always. Steve, a few games tonight. Do you think Arsenal and Man United will rotate their sides?
Well, no, I think United have got probably the toughest team in the group to play, and that's Real Sociedad. I think they'll play a strong side, and Arsenal should as well. Because if they're in the competition, they should be in it to win it. So you rotate your side and you rest one or two once you've got through the group. I don't think United can, or either of them can take chances. I think it might rotate one or two. Yeah, I can't see them make. I think I'd be surprised to make wholesale changes.
Yeah, I think United will have to. You have a look at the back four: Wan-Bissaka, Luke Shaw, Lindelof, Maguire. Casemiro, Fred. I think Elanga will play. Ronaldo will play. I think he'll make massive changes.
So do I.
He's got to play them. And obviously Crystal Palace on Sunday, and after 4 wins, every United fans all of a sudden turned up and wearing the shirts again. But I think he's going to have to. You've got to keep everyone fresh, and more importantly, Steve, keep them all playing. Yeah. In case you have 1 or 2 injuries.
No, you're right. But I think the bottom line is they've got a squad. They've got a squad of players they can do that. So they don't have to play the kids. As you say, Ronaldo can start, who hasn't started in the last few games.
Yeah, no doubt. West Ham as well. They play Star Bucharest. A lot of games on. Yeah. Nice. I must say, I like it when there's early games, Steve, so we can actually watch them. Playing 8 games at 9 o'clock our time, which will go to 10 later. It's terrible. It's nice to watch the early games. Steve, on to the Premiership for the weekend.
Just one more point. You've written something here about concerns over
sorry,
VAR,
Steve, the VAR. I see that came out on Monday, and they admitted that the Newcastle and West Ham goals should have been allowed.
Yeah, I don't think it's a fault with VAR. I mean, it's a human error because you've got a referee sitting there making the decision and telling the referee on the pitch to have a look at it. So when you look at the West Ham one, for example, there's no question. I mean, Mendy made such a meal of it, and he was basically hardly touched. He dropped the ball. So you can feel aggrieved, but I don't think it's the issue with VAR. VAR is a tool that the referee in Stockley Park and the referee on the pitch can use. So the fact that they've used it badly, I don't think is a fault of VAR itself.
Here's the question, Steve. The ref makes his call. VAR's got everything at their disposal. Don't say ref go overlook, make the call. That's your job. Not to go back to the guy who's got an opinion there and he saw it firsthand. You've got 7 angles, you have a look and you say, guys, that's the decision. There won't be any of this rent aside, 15 players standing around the guy screaming and appealing. They're going back to that rubbish. We can't have that rubbish. Steve, VAR have got to stand up and be counted because they've got the technology.
Look, you've got the technology, but you are still going to get human error. I mean, as you had human error before. The idea, hopefully, I mean, one pundit was saying that VAR should only be used for offside because it's a matter of fact, whereas everything else should just be left as the on-field call. If other sports use technology, football has to.
Steve, you live with it. If it's a human error, upstairs, we will live with it. He won't keep that job too long if he keeps making the errors. That's how this game works. You're a bad ref, you moved on. The ref sees it quickly, passes it upstairs, upstairs makes the decision. Coming back downstairs is passing the buck. It means, I think this is it, you go and have a look. Just say, you got it wrong, ref, you've got it wrong. And they want to just make it offsides. What about handballs? What about tackling? And you've got to try and do it right with technology, and the sooner they get around it. Yeah. I'm pleased VAR put their hands up and said they got it wrong. I'm pleased because it means they're trying to do something about it, Steve.
Steve, you know the last World Cup in Russia? The game carried on and then they came back to the decision. The VAR guys had a look at it. I wish they would do that because it wouldn't stop the game. Everyone, obviously it's a goal, a penalty, whatever. But I remember the Neymar incident. Remember he dived for the penalty? And he rolled and rolled and rolled. Anyway, they carried on playing and then they came back and booked him for diving. You know, so I wish they could do that, but I don't know how, as you say, the referee should be demoted, whoever made those decisions.
Yeah, makes those calls.
Well, for all we know, the referee at Stockley Park who made that decision may well be demoted and won't be able to call again for a while. So, remains to be seen. I think, what we need is no controversy at the weekend, and hopefully things will go a bit quieter on that front.
All right. Talking of the weekend, Steve, you're going to get the betting up Saturday lunchtime.
Fulham
the last one standing, as you know, kicks off this weekend. Your hometown boys, Fulham, local derby against Chelsea. Another upset.
And look, I mean, who knows if this is a good time to play Chelsea or not. Before yesterday, we might have thinking, okay, this is as good a time as any to play them. And now, we might get a backlash. You just don't know. I mean, it's quite likely that Graham Potter will be in charge by Saturday. I was sitting behind the away dugout only last week when I was there. So twice in about 10 days is quite interesting.
Yeah. So you think you can snatch a point because you're playing well, Steve?
No, at home we've played well. We've played with a lot of passion. I think we have to take the game to them. Yeah. We can't sit back because they'll obviously dominate possession. I think we just got to have a go. We've got, we've got nothing to lose. We've got to have a go at them. Yeah. And everything. I think some of their players have to be a bit shell shocked at what's happened. And until Graham Potter gets in and gets his ideas across and gets them playing, with the sort of style that he wants, maybe there's an opportunity for us. A point is not a bad result against a top, who are normally a top four side.
Yeah, no doubt. Steve, I was all over Brighton. I made them good things to beat Bournemouth. I still do. But with the managerial change, I've put the brake on. Our bet's already on. But how do you think it'll affect Brighton as well if he leaves?
Well, I think it will do because everyone's talking about him going to Chelsea, but obviously, and he takes some of his team with him, and all of a sudden Brighton are left without their sort of manager and his number two, and they've got to sort of pick themselves up. So I'm sure it will have an effect. Having said that, they've started really well, but good, fair play to Bournemouth since they got rid of Scott Parker. They dug out a draw the previous week, and they came back with a very good win last week. Forest. So I think they'll go there sort of thinking, look, we've got half a chance here. So I think it'll be a closer game than people might have thought a week ago.
Yeah, no doubt. Now, two managers that are under severe pressure: Brendan Rodgers at Leicester, Stevie Gerrard at Aston Villa. I think there's goals in this game, Steve. I'd love to take 5-2 the draw because both teams won't want to get beat. How do you see it going?
I think you're right. I thought Villa did very well to come back and get a point against City. And I thought City were going to sort of run rampant. Yeah. Leicester, they're close. They're close. Most of the games they've just sort of been edged out. And I think if they were to get a win, I think this could be their week. But I think you're right. I think a draw looks favourite, but otherwise possibly they might just sneak a home win. Yeah,
the only problem I've got with Leicester is that goalkeeper, Danny Ward. The back pass where he made a mistake, him and Ndidi were cursing each other. He's terrible. I think they've kept one clean sheet in the last 19 league games. It's unbelievable. If they've got to get a new goalkeeper, in my opinion. Now Liverpool, we've been.
Sorry? Yeah, you're right. They haven't really replaced Kasper Schmeichel with the same sort of quality. So, there's nothing really they can do about it now until January.
Geez, they've got to have a younger goalkeeper because, that guy, Danny Ward, never looks like holding his breath, let alone crosses. Steve, Liverpool, surely after last night's debacle and at Anfield, the fans will naturally pick them up. I heard Diego Costa is signing for Wolves. Is that correct?
Yeah.
That is correct. They won an appeal, and he's on his way to have a medical. Whether or not he would be eligible in time to play, but obviously he knows and I don't know whether or not how match fit he is or anything like that. So I'm not sure. whether he'll play will make much of a difference. But Liverpool have got to find a way to bounce back because it's been a poor start for them. As bad a start as they've had in a while, and they need to find a way to win. And I think they will, but he's just got to get a settled side with the players that is available for him. There's no question they seem to be missing Mane. I mean, he obviously did a lot of work off the ball as well as scoring, and there isn't that cohesion at the moment.
Yeah, they backed the wrong horse for me. They should have kept Mane and sold Salah. But anyway, there's nothing they can do now. Steve, Southampton, Brentford, I think this has got goals written all over it. Of the two teams, I fancy Brentford. How do you see it?
Yeah, I mean, Brentford have surprised me, really. I mean, they've had a big win last week. Ivan Toney, 3 more goals. They've, top. I think they're second only to City in goals scored this season. So I think, certainly look as if they find the back of the net. Southampton have pulled themselves up a bit, and certainly at home. Their last home game, a good win against Chelsea. I think they'll be hard to beat, but I think, to me, a draw looks fairly favourite here, but I think there will be goals.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Now, Paul, I'll come to you first. Last year, Spurs upset Man City at the Etihad. Any chance for another upset?
Doubtful. I'll take a point now. I think they're just a very, very good side. They're going to have to contain the blonde bomber. Yeah. But they're possible. But they have got a few chinks at the back. They couldn't beat Villa. They have got a few chinks. We're going to be tight. We're going to play. We're going to hope for the front three to get us in the game. But they're a good side.
Yeah, top side. For me, the key is when they lose the ball, Spurs, somebody has to pick up Kevin De Bruyne. Yes. Because if you block him, not saying that you're going to win, you've got to block the service to Haaland. Let them come down either flank. Yeah. But, you never know with Spurs. Conte, the Italians, they have a knack, but I think it's a tough task. How do you see it, Steve?
Well, incredible stat. Haaland has got 12 goals League Cup this season. 9 he's scored within the 6-yard box. Yeah. He just seems to find space. Even when there isn't any, he just has this knack to. He just, as I say, was said once before, he's a very instinctive player, and he just seems to get into the right place at the right time. And it's not luck. I mean, he works at it, and he's got an incredible turn of speed. So 1 minute the defender's on him, and the next he's away. I think Tottenham are going to have to really dig deep and defend like lions to keep City out. Yeah, but as you say, last season they shot everybody with those late goals. So, I think it should be a close game, but I think City will edge it.
Tailor-made, Son to score. Little flick from Kane through ball, and can he score? I don't know if he didn't score last night. Hadn't scored all year.
He played well last night.
Yeah, he's a good player, just struggling to score.
Now,
Arsenal, I thought, were unlucky against United. If they'd taken their chances, I think they would have won. Against an Everton team who've drawn their last 4, Steve. I like the fight that they're showing Everton. Can they get another draw at the Emirates?
They can, except they're going to be without Pickford. I understand he's out for about 4 weeks.
Okay.
With a side strain he picked up in the Merseyside derby. So I think without Pickford's had a fantastic game against Liverpool last week. Without him in goal, I think that Arsenal would probably start as favourites now.
Yeah. Okay, so Arsenal for all you last one standing guys. Yeah. West Ham, Newcastle, another game I think there'll be goals. Newcastle unlucky against Liverpool, unlucky on the weekend against Palace. I don't know, Steve. Something with that. If St. Maxim returns, I think they've got a shot. But West Ham are slowly grinding results. Another one unlucky against Chelsea. They're playing the Europa League tonight. I fancy West Ham are the two teams. How do you see it?
Yeah, I mean, at home, I think West Ham will rotate a bit tonight.
Yeah.
They're not the strongest team this year. I mean, they're no longer called Steaua Bucharest, but they're not the strongest team. I think West Ham will comfortably win that, and then I think you're right. I think they start as favourites against Newcastle. Newcastle had a solid start, but it's sort of been pegged back a bit the last couple of weeks. So I think if there was to be a winner, I fancy West Ham.
Yeah, they've only won one of their 6 league games, and that was their first game against Forest. But they have been a little bit unlucky, and they are a great team to watch. Now, Man United have won 4 in a row, travel to Crystal Palace. With a little bit of luck we had on the weekend, I think we're going to need another ounce of luck at Crystal Palace. We rolled Arsenal on the weekend. Patrick Vieira, the most hated man in the 2000s at Old Trafford. He'll have a plan, Steve. This is going to be a tight game. Can United get another 3 points?
I think they can. They'd have to play well, though. I think they've certainly rode their luck in the last few games. But 4 wins in a row, and all of a sudden, things are looking a little bit rosy. Palace are inconsistent, but on their day, they're a good side, and they shot City in the first half last week, for sure. And if they're at full strength, if they've got Zaha fit, I think it'll be a tough game. But I think of the two, to me, I think United could well edge it.
Yeah, I just don't like the way United, Rashford loves to run in behind. That pitch, I've never been there, but it looks a tight pitch, and I don't think they're going to push out.
Benny's doing a good job.
Oh, Benny's the new main man there.
Yeah, Benny McCarthy.
Benny, must be.
You know what he's earning?
That's a 40 grand a week?
80.
80, good luck
80,
to him.
yeah.
I hope he's on big bonuses. Keep it going, Benny. And last but not least, Steve, Notts Forest, who slaughtered me last week, travelled to a Leeds United side who got beat 5 by Brentford. The manager got sent off. Got good home form. Are they a banker of the weekend, Leeds United?
I don't know about being a banker. I think their home form has certainly helped them this year. It's strange. I mean, there seems to be a different side at home. They are away with a passionate crowd. Forest were really poor in the second half, and obviously were woeful at City the week before. I think Leeds will definitely start as favourite. And I think at this moment in time, Steve Cooper has no idea, or maybe he does, who his best 11 are, and play them together, because, he signed another right back yesterday. He's brought in Serge Aurier as his third right back of the summer. You just think, there comes a point, they signed 22 or 23 players. He can't keep rotating. He's got to find his best 11 and play them.
Jeez, well, I don't know if you saw that clip, but Nottingham Forest travelling to an away game. It was a triple-decker bus with all their players. Humour they are. But I think Forest are going to have to pick up the slack, because if they don't get results at home against Bournemouth, they're going to drop into that bottom 3 and struggle all season. But say Leeds were great against Chelsea, beat Wolves at home. Only Everton, they should have beat Everton as well. So I fancy Leeds of the teams. Steve, on to the championship. Last week we were horribly wrong with our Luton. I couldn't believe it. I thought our money was in the bank, and then they threw it away. Burnley against Norwich, 2 of the top teams in the league. How do you see this going?
Yeah, that'll be a really good game, and it'll be live on TV.
Yeah, we'll have it on.
Evening. Norwich have it. They started, and everyone's thinking, what's happened to them? And they've won, 5 in a row.
Yeah.
Burnley are playing well. Burnley had a good result last week. Played very well and comfortable winners. I think this will be a really good game. It's hard to call. I think Norwich would start as favourite, but Burnley at home won't be easy. So I wouldn't be surprised if it ends all square. Yeah,
I think both teams to score. Score draw looks a good thing in that game. As you said, Burnley was stiff. Now, didn't Burnley draw 1-1 at West Brom? They conceded an injury time. But, as I said, very lucky. They should have won. Birmingham, Swansea. Birmingham came to Deepdale. Apparently they were full value, according to my mates, when they beat Preston, who can't score again. I like Swansea, the 2 teams here, Steve. How do you see it?
I do too, but they've both been very inconsistent. I mean, I don't think most people would have predicted Birmingham to win after the way they played recently. And Swansea, just Swansea can't seem to sort of win more of, they give away late goals. I think of the 2, Swansea for me should start as favourites though. Yeah,
now Blackpool, Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough played well against Sunderland. There's another home result. Away from home, they've only taken 1 point from their 4 league games. You think they can upset? Another betting says they should, but Blackpool at home aren't easy to beat.
I think you're right. I think Blackpool at home are a strong side. I mean, they obviously lost their last home game at home to Blackburn.
Yeah.
But I think Middlesbrough, that was a big win for them in their sort of in a local derby, and I think they're just starting to sort of pick up a little bit. So I wouldn't be at all surprised if Middlesbrough get something there. I'm not sure Blackpool will beat them.
Yeah. Now, that game that they did lose to Blackburn, they had 2 free headers in the box in the last 5 minutes and should have drawn. But now Bristol City, Preston. I don't know what we're going to have to do at Preston. The fans are going a bit crazy. 8 league games, we've only scored 2 goals, only conceded 1. But fortunately, Bristol City are the team we normally beat. Bristol City going well, Steve. Won the last 3 at home.
They are, and in fact, they're scoring a lot of goals.
Yeah.
And I just wonder whether or not, even though Preston's defence is superb, Preston's lack of goal scoring, I might see them come undone, because if Bristol City score early, I think so. For me, I'm afraid I'm going to have to sort of plump for Bristol City on this one.
Yeah, I agree. You know, Bristol City. Yeah, and they went to Blackburn last week, which is a tough place to go, Ewood Park, and they were comfortable winners. So I hope my boys can do something. On to the next page, Steve. Coventry have only played one game at home. Cardiff City. Sorry, you got Cardiff City, Hull City, Steve. Sorry, how do you see that going?
Yeah, I mean, both very inconsistent. I mean, Hull started well, Cardiff started well. They've both fallen away. Of the two, I guess Cardiff will be stronger at home. Hull haven't shown much form away from home. So I think if I was to go for one, I think Cardiff might just pip them.
Yeah, I agree. Cardiff beat Norwich at home, and they should have beat Preston at home as well. Hull, great start, but away from home they've been woeful. Now, Coventry have only had one home game this year. This is a second. They lost 1-0 at home to Preston against a West Brom team who draw too many games, Steve. A draw looks another bet for me. How do you see it?
Yeah, I think that Coventry. I mean, they've certainly the fact that they'd lost those home games and they're sitting at the bottom of the table has really hurt them. Yeah. I think West Brom might be a little bit too strong. There'll be a big crowd, a lot of away fans there, as it's not that far. I think that West Brom showed a lot of fight against Burnley, and I think that they'll go there and get a result.
Yeah, it just worries me. They've played 8 league games. They've drawn 6 of them. You know, that's my only concern. But I agree. I don't see them losing. Now, QPR, I fancy QPR the weekend, Steve. Huddersfield lost 5 of the 7 of their league games. QPR for you?
Yeah, I think so. Again, inconsistent, but at home, should be too strong for a Huddersfield team that are obviously, compared to last year, seem a different side altogether. I think QPR should win that one.
Yeah, Sheffield United 5-10. Steve, don't they look good things at home to Rotherham?
Yeah, definitely. Local derby. Rotherham have had a better season than a lot of people thought, but at home, Sheffield United should be too strong, and I would think should win comfortably.
Yeah, now Stoke City, I watched them get beat by Reading last week. They played good football, but Reading, I can't believe how they're third in the league. Yeah, Paul Ince done a great job. They've got 2 guys up front. They can score goals big and strong. Of the 2 teams here, Steve, Stoke have got to come right eventually. They've got a new manager. How do you see it?
I think you're right. I mean, Stoke at home normally, have been strong. Been very underwhelming this season. But again, with the new manager, I think you might be right. I think they might just edge it this week.
Yeah, that goalkeeper threw one in. Yeah,
O'Neill, wasn't it?
O'Neill,
go on.
Sunderland, I thought they tried hard against Middlesbrough on Monday night, Steve. A little bit unlucky. I think they'll beat Millwall, who have let me down at home, let alone away. What's your call?
Yeah, I mean, Millwall have really been disappointing the last few games after a good start. I mean, Sunderland were without Ross Stewart. I'm not sure if he's fit and able to play this week, then I think Sunderland should start as favourites.
Yeah, now Watford 7-10 against a Reading team who are going well under Paul Ince. The betting to me should be a lot closer, Steve. What do you think?
I think, at the end of the day, as you say, Reading are sitting in 3rd place. Surprised everybody after a poor start. But, Watford are going to be hard to beat at home. I think that I think for them, keeping their star player, João Pedro, who basically came out and said he didn't want to leave and didn't want to leave Watford, I think is good for them. And I think at home they might just be a little bit too strong.
Yeah, one thing's for certain, there will be goals. And last but not least, Steve, this is my best value bet. I can't believe Blackburn are 22-10 away from home against Wigan. I know Wigan have done great the last couple of weeks and they beat Luton away. But I think 22-10 is a good price. How do you see it?
Well, I think that we're both on the same wavelength because I looked at that and thought, I know that Wigan won at Luton, but it sounded like they were being sort of completely outplayed in the first half. Yeah. And I think Blackburn, keeping Brereton Diaz, I think that they'll go there. And local derby, I think they'll probably be a little bit too strong. Yeah,
I thought 22-10 is a great price. Steve, pressure time again before you go to the Oval to watch the Proteas against England. I need your best bet and value bet, please.
Well, I'm going to go with my best bet. I'm going to go for Bristol City. I think that 14-10. I think are very good odds for a team that are scoring for fun at home. And we just mentioned it. I think my value bet is Blackburn Rovers. I think I think those are good odds for them.
Yeah, I totally agree. Steve, I can't say enjoy the cricket because obviously we're in different camps, but.
At the moment, I'm looking at rain out the window, so I don't know what's going to happen there.
Oh, well, let's hope it clears and you have a
clears,
good day.
All right, Stevie.
Steve, thanks
Thanks very much, Steve.
Speak over the weekend. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Right, Buzz, let's go PSL.
Yeah,
Midweek
cool.
results. Royal AM, who are at the top, lost to Richards Bay, who have
Believe
gone
it,
top.
Paul, the goalkeeper threw the first one, and I always
Yes,
have a bet
yes,
when the games,
yes.
just so I watch it with interest. And I thought they were going to get back. I went 12-10, both teams to score. Royal AM, I don't know what they got to do, 1 or 2 chances, but Richards Bay going well, Paul,
Yeah.
physical team.
Top of the log.
And top of the log. No, they're second top now.
Oh, they're
Sundowns won last night.
Oh, yes, I saw that, yeah. Cape Town City, another
Yeah,
0-0.
0-0, Paul, very stalemate.
And then Chipper lost 1-0 to
Yeah,
Sundowns.
injury
I saw
time
the
goal.
goal. Was it injury time?
Yeah, 92nd
I
minute.
did see the goal.
Yeah.
Gee. Okay, well, let's look at the fixtures, Buds. Let's see where we're going with everything. Let's start at the top with who have we got? Maritzburg United against Supersport.
Paul, last week we were on Sundowns to beat Supersport, and for an interest, I thought, let me go both teams to score. Supersport United were outstanding. They won 2-1, deserved winners. 5-2 is a big price.
Yeah.
Now, Maritzburg beat Pirates. I watched quite a bit of it.
Yeah.
Pirates missed a runaway. The floodlights went out in Maritzburg. The coach blamed that. But Maritzburg, hard to beat there, Paul. But the way Gavin's got his team, they've won their last 2. Of the 2 teams, I like Supersport.
Okie dokie, I put that down. Let's look at your next one, Budge. Amazulu, they're up there.
Yeah, I like Amazulu, Paul. They're a good team. They're going well, I think, even money. That's in our bets to beat Chipper. Chipper played last night, fought hard.
Could be
but
2
they don't score
defeats in
too
a
many
week.
goals,
Yeah.
Paul. So Amazulu for me.
Okay, then Swallows.
Paul goals. I spoke to Dylan yesterday. Yeah, his team has a go. You see, we're not sitting back. We're going for the 3 points. Only problem with that is defensively they aren't the best. But Paul, this could go anyway. Obviously, I'm funking for Dylan to get a result. But both teams to score. I think I saw 12-10. So that's our play in that game.
Orlando Pirates Galaxy. Pirates.
Yeah, it should be Pirates, Paul, but they don't score many goals.
No,
That's
they're
the only
gonna-
problem. I watched TS Galaxy draw with Swallows. They play good football, but another team that struggle to score, Paul.
Yeah,
but
yeah, that's true.
Pirates don't give me Orlando.
Sundown Arrows.
Paul, Sundowns, yeah, it should got to be 6-10 Sundowns. It is short, but they are a good team, plenty of good players. Arrows are unbeaten in the last 4, Paul, but hard to see them getting anything against Sundowns.
And then
Maruma Gallants Chiefs.
Well,
Paul, you
Chiefs.
never know with Chiefs. Paul, they're struggling. They can't score. They get to the last third and they just, I don't
They're
know what
8
it
to
is.
10, eh?
8-10. I wouldn't take 8-10, Paul. I'd rather take 12-10, both teams to score. Chiefs going forward don't look too bad, Paul,
Yeah.
defensively, but 22-10 is the right play, Paul.
okay. Right, Buzz, let's think of these pools and these
Soccer
best
exotics.
bets.
Yeah, well, we start off with our gold circle, tab goal, our score 6. I'm going Chelsea in the draw against Fulham.
Chelsea.
Yeah, I'm going Brighton. Well, I did it yesterday, but I still think Brighton will be too good for Bournemouth. I've gone the field in the Leicester City versus Aston Villa game. I bank at Liverpool, who I think will finally get a result. The field in the Southampton Brentford, and I've thrown the draw in with your boys, Paul. I think
Yeah, you hope
Son
it-
will snatch one, and I've gone Man City win and draw 2-1-6. On to the second one, the second soccer 6. I'm banking Amazulu to beat Chipper. Cape Town City, I think it's a CAF Champions League game
Okay.
against AS Otahu. I've gone the field in the Swallows Stellenbosch game. I've thrown the draw in with Orlando Pirates at home against TS Galaxy. I'm banking Mamelodi Sundowns to beat Golden Arrows. And the next one's the CAF Super Cup Champions League winners against the Confederations Cup. They're both Moroccan sides, so I put the field in there, Paul. Start of their season, 2-1-6. On to our score 10. I'm going Chelsea win and draw at Fulham. I'm banking Bayern Munich to beat Stuttgart, Brighton to beat Bournemouth. I've gone the field in the Leicester City Aston Villa clash. I'm banking Liverpool to be too good at home against Wolves. I'm going the field in the Southampton Brentford fixture. Inter Milan win and draw at home against Torino. I think Barcelona will be too good for Cadiz away from home. I've thrown the draw in with Man City against Tottenham and going AC Milan win and draw against Sampdoria 288. On to the soccer 13.
Why have we got 2 Moroccan sides? And explain that to me.
The CAF Champions League, Wydad Casablanca. It was like the Europa League Champions League. So the Moroccan teams won them both.
And they're playing Morocco?
Yeah.
What's the capital of Morocco?
Rabat, that's where the
Very
game
good. Rabat. Play it Rabat.
That's where the game is. Yeah, so soccer 13, Paul, I'm banking Man City to beat Spurs, Liverpool to beat Wolves, Leicester win and draw at home against Aston Villa. I'm chancing Brentford to win at Southampton. Going for Brighton to be too good away from home against Bournemouth. I'm going Middlesbrough win and draw at Blackpool. Swansea City win and draw at Birmingham City. The second page, I'm going Bristol City win and draw at home against Preston. Banking Cardiff City to beat Hull City. I don't think West Brom will lose at Coventry City. I'm going Stoke City win and draw at home against Luton Town. Sunderland win and draw at home against Millwall. And banking Blackburn Rovers to win at Wigan, 256. On to our Budgies bets.
Budgies best. Enjoy these.
They were put on Wednesday, so we can't change them. I'm going Brighton to beat Bournemouth. Leeds to beat Notts Forest. And over 2.5 goals in Southampton Brentford. West Ham Newcastle United, 2,100 to 200.
Good on you,
Our
bud.
Premiership team goals only. I'm going Brighton, Brentford, Leicester City and Leeds United, all to score over 1.5 goals, 3,400 to 200. On to the Championship. I'm going Blackburn to beat Wigan Athletic, Sheffield United to beat Rotherham, and QPR to beat Huddersfield Town, and over 2.5 total goals, 2,600 to 200. Our Championship, both teams to score sides are Burnley Norwich, which is on Friday, Cardiff Hull City, Stoke Luton Town, and Watford Reading, 2,800 to 200. On to the PSL, I'm going Amazulu to beat Chipper United, Sundowns to beat Golden Arrows, and both teams to score. And the Swallows, Stellenbosch and Maruma Gallants Kaizer Chiefs clash, 2,400 to 200. And our Collis King 6 or Nixa, I'm going Brighton to beat Bournemouth, Leeds United to beat Notts Forest, Sheffield United to beat Rotherham, QPR to beat Huddersfield, Barcelona to beat Cadiz, and Real Madrid to beat Mallorca, 2,900 to 200.
Excellent, Bud. So 31 left and the last one standing. The new one starts
this Saturday.
And we'll have to get on the blower, let people know.
Everybody's been, I'll just have to keep obviously reminding the guys.
Good, and remind them what they can win.
Yeah, no doubt.
And it's 5 ladies left, so it looks very interesting. Until next time, stay on side.